Hello, everyone. Welcome. Namaste. I want to discuss today um, and have a little meditation on the mind. I work with a lot of mental health clients and also addiction treatment. So a lot of that has to do with choices that we make, with obsessions and attachments. Really, all of it is attachments in one way, shape, or form. And the attachments, in my experience, still are what lead me to that obsessive thinking and to deter me from what I know is truth in my heart. So, some teachings I follow discuss the law of mentalism, and that is that everything is mental. Now, not so much of like the mind that we think, not like, oh, well, what is everything my thinking mind? Like, yes and no. But everything is intelligent. Everything has intelligence. Nature, you might be able to hear the sounds of the birds outside. Like, we are part of that. We are not alone ever. Even if you take that word alone, really, it's all one. So we are actually, even when we feel like we're alone, it's really just us getting connected to the all one concept. Um, but sometimes that could be, depending on our attachments to maybe a relationship or family or other people or whatever it may be, could make us feel like we're alone. But really, we are connected to nature. We are part of this earth. We are part on the earth as part of the universe and everything above and beyond and in the middle. So that's also just a thought, and the more that I can identify with the fact that I am a part of everything and not, apart from everything, really helps me in times like this, times in the world where people are trying to entertain you to fear. Like, oh, there's so much of this negativity going on and people are sick and there's all this chaos and violence and racism. I mean, I get it. It's always been there. It's all part of it. It's all one. We go through phases and times throughout humanity and the earth and everything of darkness and then light and then times of peace and times of war. I've really been trying to find that middle ground, right, where we can be at peace inside no matter what's going on externally. The mind is funny. It's literally the sharpest tool. It's either the sharpest tool to destroy yourself and other things, or it's the sharpest tool to connect you to your truest self and to God of your understanding, and see, you know, where you are and how you're feeling, and you could change all that. Um, Now I'm talking more about the mind today because most of the time I just go from the heart, and like most of my yoga and teaching is like, go get out of the mind, get into the heart. Which, yes, that is very important to get out of the way first. Whatever thinking that we had prior, that caused us to seek healing or seek treatment or whatever it is we need to like distance ourselves from that. I had to. I'm speaking as me, but I'm also speaking in terms of we, because we are all one. So I I had to separate my old thought process and then come into my heart and then set those intentions. And these two things are one as well. But first, we need to get out of that crazy thinking process and down in here, from my experience. And then from going here, it changes this. So when I could lead here, and it might feel uncomfortable and it might be weird, you're going to, when you're feeling everything from a heart space, it's a little more difficult, because empathy and love and forgiveness and that stuff is not easy. You start feeling other people's feelings. You start to feel your own feelings. Man, I had like years of feeling my own feelings, and even now, and it's a long process. That's what yoga is. Like, that's what meditation is. It's the same anyway. But when we could come to the heart, something happens where we could have a spiritual experience through the heart space. That then all of a sudden we aren't entertaining so much of the fears. Like, oh yeah, that stuff is going on. Okay. But I want to seek out love, whatever that is. And I encourage everyone to try and find out what love is. And if you figure out exactly what love is, come back and let me know. Leave a comment on my I would love for you guys to leave comments of what you feel love is, because everybody has a different concept of that too. But for me, I could feel a presence of contentment and a presence of connectivity and that oneness. That then changed. I had a psychological change. I started to see the world different. I started to feel other people differently and accepting things that I usually would try and fight. So that was I just wanted to discuss a little bit of that, a little bit of more of the Eastern psychology, versus the Western psychology. They go first here, and then hope that everything else will balance out. So let's do a little meditation, to try and tune. So our intentions, which come from thought, then we can direct them. So if you want to close your eyes and take a moment and be able to set an intention for yourself, hopefully something positive, something that's going to bring you to that space of oneness. So first, it's a thought. And then as we breathe that intention in, pranic energy, pulling into the mind, and then as you exhale, settle down into the heart. And as you settle into the heart space, maybe take another deep breath. Let it expand. Out and broaden the shoulders. Maybe straighten the spine a little bit. And then as you exhale again, just continuing with the breath, we come down and we can ground that energy down to earth. Try and feel that connection to the Great Mother. And then we could just set that intention on the earth. Let it be rest, and don't even worry about it in this moment. And we're just going to focus on sound for a few minutes and the breath. If the mind tries to interfere or get in the way, just observe the thought. Try not to have a judgment on it, and just witness it being there. And then even to let your mind itself know that you're watching. And maybe that can bring about more presence. deeply listen. Now coming slowly back to the breath and the heart. Exhaling out. We will breathe in and bring the hands up to the heart, palms together. Exhale out. Breathing in, bring the hands up to the mind or the third eye center. Exhale out. And then reach your hands all the way up and just stretch out. Breathe in real deep. Stretch the hands out, fingers out. Slowly bring your hands down to your lap. We'll take one more real deep breath in. Sigh out. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. So, these very simple meditations, by tuning to the heart, tuning to the mind, using an intention and maybe some sound or something, very important to do in the mornings before your mind can attack you. And very good to do before you go to bed to try and just kind of clear and not go to sleep with all that stuff. So hopefully this helped, and and that it's a practice that maybe you can develop to do in the mornings and at night, and even throughout the day. Don't ever hesitate. Take care of self first. If you gotta tuck away somewhere, take a few deep breaths, recenter, heart, mind, connect those two together, and then we can merge and hopefully help love one another and care for one another, and be honest and love everyone. Namaste.